get your skins.
Yeah, okay. Your turn. All right, I'll step aside.
Snow rabbit. Tame rabbit.
A couple of seasons ago, I posted a video on how a group of skiers can improve a trail. What we're going to do today is take turns breaking trail. Julie's currently out in front, and since I'm playing second fiddle at the moment, I'm going to try to widen the trail just ever so slightly and knock down this center ridge. I know some of you are probably wondering, why in the world do you go through the effort to knock down that center ridge? Most people think that actually makes it easier to ski, and in some respects it does. The problem is if you live in a climate where it gets warm during the day and it gets cold at night, what happens is that center ridge really hardens up and you end up with this track that really slows you down. If you're in a group of four, like in my previous video, the job of the second person is to knock that center down a little bit, widen the trail, and then the third and fourth person end up setting the trail in that track, and you still end up with a groove. It's just that the track is just a little bit wider, and that center high part is not anywhere near as high. So have no fear, you end up with railroad tracks. It's just a much improved set of railroad tracks than if everybody just skied in the very same spot. If you haven't seen that video, check it out, and next time you're skiing with a group of 3 people, especially if you're on the same trail going out and back and you're breaking trail, take the time to make that trail as possible, as good as you possibly can, and when you come back out, you'll all enjoy the heck out of it. So it's time for Julie and I to trade places, and our standard procedure is when it's my turn to break trail, what she does is she just steps off to the side and I continue on with the trail, and then she'll rejoin the trail when it comes back in. The reason that you do that, instead of the second person going around the front person, is you just want to have a continuously straight trail. And by stepping aside, if you have more than 2 people, the rest of the people will just scoot right on past that trail breaking person, and they end up taking their place at the very rear. So you go from being the hardest job to the easiest job, and it gives everybody a chance, because when you're in the front position, you can work really hard breaking trail, and you know you only have to sustain that level of effort for a few minutes, and you know somebody else is going to take that job over, and they'll be rested, and by the time it's your turn to take it over again, you'll be ready to go with lots of energy. These tracks that you're seeing right here are going left and right are more than likely they're deer, and they're doing their best to survive the winter. I really feel sorry for them. This deep snow has got to make it really tough for them to move around. You can see how much faster it is in skiing in someone else's tracks versus breaking trail. Now, earlier I was talking about having an inexperienced person in your party breaking trail for a short period. And one of the problems that you have is oftentimes the most inexperienced person in your party really doesn't know which direction to go. You know, if you're on a marked trail, and then it's easy peasy. But in a situation like this where we're skiing right now, we're not on a marked trail, and the person in the lead needs to know where to go, and so they might be a little bit uncertain. But if you're the most experienced person and you're taking your turn at the back of the pack, all you have to do is give them verbal directions. You know, veer a little bit right, veer a little bit left. You need to try to make a trail that's as straight as you possibly can. And the easiest way to do that is to focus on some object out in front of you. Like in this case, I'm looking at the nose of this hill and a tree. And so I'll try and focus my direction on a particular object. If you want to be funny, you can just yell "gee" or "haw." And for my Alaskan friends, they'll know exactly what that means. For those of you who don't know what "gee" and "haw" means, you can Google it. Well, that was great, a lot of fun. Well, that's about it for this video. Seems like I always end up here in the Aspens, but we're almost back to the car, so I'll close it out here. I hope you enjoyed this week's video. If you have, be sure to give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. It certainly helps to grow the channel. Until next time, be safe, be kind, and I hope to see you next Friday.